Last time Rose and I came up here, I'm pretty sure that it's like lip balm was knocked down. They must be trying to get that thing open. But otherwise, everything looks just how I left it. "70 degrees outside. What a nice day." For lunch today, we're going to be having potato salad. I got a bag of chips and a couple burgers. This is like, we got a big pack from Sam's Club or Costco and then divvied them up. But they're pretty good burgers. And got some cheese to put on them. And we'll cook those out on the grill. So let's go get that started. Grill doesn't click anymore, but I just so happen to get the same exact thing at home. Let's see if we can get a battery in here and see if that fixes the clicking. This looks like the original battery, Winners brand. I've never even heard of that. So I found a AA down deep in Dad's battery ammo tin. So let's see if that fixes it. I have no idea if this battery even has... Oh, sweet. It does work. We've been lighting this thing with a lighter for probably a couple years. Oh, it works. Awesome. It does. Sweet. We'll let that heat up. We'll get those burgers ready and awesome. We're up here today and tomorrow. We'll be leaving tomorrow at some point, but earlier this year I gave Grandpa a hand with cutting up some firewood and replacing the TV in his cabin. And I only got part way through the firewood, so I'm up here again, and Grandpa's up at his place, but we'll run over there. I don't know if I'm going to get started on the firewood today or tomorrow. I'm not sure yet, but that's why we're up here, is we're just kind of getting that stuff squared away. I'd like to get a little more firewood done because it looks like the tent could use some also, even if it's just some pine or something, just getting something split in the pile. Fresh one, or is this one open? Gosh, do we have any other Hunter's blend that's opened? Well, looks like this is a fresh bottle of Johnny's Hunter's Blend. You guys have never tried this before. This is some good stuff. Hard to find. Some random supermarkets carry it. I'll season this again when it actually thaws out, but that's the best seasoning ever. Perfect. Let's cook. Turn it down a little bit though. Yeah, I don't know if they got themselves a northern or what. I wasn't able to see it. but they were using the net, so that's a good sign. Maybe I will have some luck catching dinner tonight. Guess we'll find out. Alright, I'm going to head over to Grandpa's place and grab his four-wheeler. I don't know if he's there or not, so if he is, I'll try to get something on my phone. But if not, I'll see you guys in a little bit with the four-wheeler. Alright, I got that stump cut out of there. Picked up all the good wood. There's a little bit left. We'll chuck that into the swamp. Talk about a picture perfect day, huh? So I got this hat for my birthday. Like it? Duck camo. But you might notice these. What are these, you're asking? Well, I seen this TikTok video where the guy was going on a walk and he had these on his hat. And he said, you get these little dragonflies, you put them on your hat, and then the horseflies will leave you alone. Because I guess horseflies, dragonflies eat horseflies. So anyways, he had like his hat, it was a baseball cap, and he clipped them on. I got this hat. But regardless, we're gonna give her a rip. I'm gonna put some on, put some on the helmet on my bike to see, on my bike ride to see, because when I was on the four-wheeler, they were pretty nasty. But if it works, that's really a lifesaver, because horseflies aren't really too crazy, but there's some geese. Oh, it's getting close. Anyways, horseflies aren't too crazy, but they can get you. Yeah, and you know what? I was out there fishing I went out for probably 2 hours, and earlier today, right out here, they had one they put in a net, and I was coming back, and they're way over across out there, and I go, oh my gosh, and they got the net out again. I'm out there, I didn't get anything. They're kids, they're killing it. Alright, let's get this fire made. See how easy it splits when you go with the grain? Go against it, you can split it, but if you go with it, it splits really good. Now I don't think these dragonflies keep the mosquitoes away. But it's a beautiful looking fire, isn't it? It's almost picture perfect. Mentioned it before, mention it again. This is considered a Boy Scout's axe. It has a small, I don't know, maybe a 1.5 pound head and a 28-inch handle. And I have a hatchet, which is pretty much the same size head as this thing. And you know, I've had a real axe. This beats all of them. I don't know why. It's just nowadays we're not out there chopping down 3-foot diameter trees, you know. So this is the perfect camping axe. It's big enough to split wood. It's big enough if you have to cut down a small tree, but it's not too small where you can't really hit anything with it, and it's not too big where you can't, you know, split anything small with it. It's like that perfect medium. So you guys have seen me use that 100 times. pretty good. Let's head on in. I was gonna make corn, decided not to. I'm a little bit lazy. Let's eat. Alright, I finished up my dinner. And now I'm going to go out on a bike ride. I'm going to go check out that new logged out area. They logged it way past the river, so we'll go check that out and click one of these or maybe both of these to my helmet if they work. It'll be a fun time. Alright. That was a great bike ride. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of chilly. 66 degrees, but you get in those shady areas and it's cold. I'm going to call Sam and say goodnight to Rose quick. And then hopefully I can get out there and do some fishing because it's just about the right time. These bikes are so fun because they're really quiet. You just kind of feel like you're going to sneak up on something around every turn. Alright, so here is the logged out area. This is the second area back past the river. But all that, I mean, this stuff hasn't changed since the last time I was back here a few weeks ago with Rose. So I think that they're about done with this portion. They might be working on another cut somewhere else. But anyways, there's just like the grapple trailer and then a couple stacks of this wood that they haven't went down at all. And then this D7 dozer. But the trail goes on here, so we're going to keep riding. A couple weeks ago, I seen just one lone set of moose tracks, so we're going to keep riding and see what we can see. This right here is the actual four-wheeler trail, and it looks like there's been some activity on it, which is good, I guess. So when we came through here the other week, there was like no activity. This just looked like an old four-wheeler trail that no one had ridden on, so... This is actually around where I seen those moose tracks in that low, wet area there. So we're gonna keep on biking up here, and we'll see if maybe they've done some work up here or what the case is. Because looks like a four-wheeler tracks and vehicle tracks. So maybe there has been some sort of activity back here. Well, I found a lake, and it's totally picturesque. I'll have to look on a map to see if I'm just looking at a lake I might be familiar with backwards. But from this angle, there's no cabins, no shoreline, anything. This might be a pretty awesome fishing lake. Have to devise something to put on the back of the bike here to bring a canoe over, but oh, it's beautiful. All right, so I looked it up. Oh, what's that? Is that an otter or a beaver? It's hard to say what that is. I'm gonna guess that's a beaver. It's coming this way though. Yeah, that's a beaver. Can't believe it hasn't seen or heard me yet. I mean, it's not that far out. Anyways, yeah, there's no cabins or anything. This is actually the only way to this lake. There's no public access. There's just this portage access. Look at that thing. It doesn't even care that I'm here. And so I waypointed it. So as a bird flies, I'm about 4 miles from where I started, which means I'm probably about 10 miles on a bike. So I better turn around here because we're going to be running out of light. And if I kept going, look at that. That beaver don't care at all. If I kept going the way that I was, I would probably have to go another 20 miles to get out of here. So I'm way back. Random four-wheeler path. Alright, let's head around back. Alright, I tried calling. They're just picking up stuff. So I'm going to go out and cast a little bit, and they'll call me whenever they can. So if I get something, I'll let you guys know. Alright, there's the first fish. If it would have been a few hours ago, I would have kept it. But we're going to let that one go. That's actually a good eater, though. It might be a pound or two. Be a good one to eat. Alright, I'll keep that one. That's a nice bass, so we'll keep that one and fillet him up. Be a good little fish fry for at home, maybe. If you guys can see it. Well, something's running around on the roof, but pulled the front trail camera here. That was a big gust. Look at that, huh? That was a big gust. All the stuff blowing, that's kind of cool. Okay, I think I got the keys for the one lockbox up front here, so I'm going to go grab that one. Alright, I tell you what, that is a spider baby zone. Those metal lockbox things you put on there. Holy man, there's probably like 20 egg sacs on there. It's crazy. Hopefully something cool. 5/11, 2024, 7/22. Oh, cool! Look at that. Right off the bat. Let's see if you guys can see that. Bird flying. I wonder if that's a camp jay or. There's Rosie and me in her jammies. That's the next morning. As I'm getting her up there to take a picture. Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Oh, I wish it would have seen the face. That's pretty cool. Maybe it'll come back again. So that's on the 6th at... Well, I guess the time is wrong on there. So Rosie and I packed up and left probably... This is probably 8 in the morning. So if 4 is 8, then it's 4 hours. It's 15 such that like dark. Look at that. I think that's... I don't know. It's hard to say what that is. A coyote maybe? Maybe a wolf? It's hard to say. Just wanted to come and sniff things out. That's Grandpa, I think. Oh, it's back. 8:10. It might be Grandpa. That looks like maybe Grandpa there. The 10th. The 11th, this is back. Might be a coyote. Here I am the first time. Then I came back with the lock. And that's it. Very cool that there's a... I think that's a coyote. I don't know. I think a wolf would be a little more gray, but very cool. Alright, so it's 10:45 at night, and I am just about ready for bed. My teeth are brushed. I'm in my jammies. I'm ready to go to bed. Pretty early night for me. Even when I work and I have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, you usually wouldn't catch me in bed. 11 o'clock's the earliest. Normally it's like midnight. I'm falling asleep midnight, 1 o'clock. Just how I go. But I've been working on just relaxing. Yeah, my wife is the same way. You get like a night where, like, if I have Rose and we're camping, Sam's like, all right, like, I'm gonna deep clean the house, right? So, today was like a child-free day, and so I was like, oh, I gotta do this. It's like you panic almost, because it's like, I don't get this uninterrupted time, but I'm trying to take the load off. I did for a little bit at least. I spoke with Grandpa today. He showed me what trees he would like gone. I'll show you guys that tomorrow. But I need his truck to be out of there to lop down those trees. There's a handful of little ones that are not a big deal. There's 2 pretty tall ones that we're going to definitely have to take our time with. And they're going to take a lot of time to buck them up and stuff. So he's leaving early. He told me 8, then he told me 7, and then he told me first thing when he gets up. So I'm guessing he'll be out of there between 6 and 7 o'clock tomorrow. Essentially, Grandpa is the president, but also lives at there's an assisted living and an unassisted living retirement community. And in the house portion where he lives, there's twin homes. So it's 2 houses put together. Their garages are opposing, and anyways, they had hail come through and there's hail damage. So for all these houses to get new roofs, it's going to be $500,000, but insurance will pick up the bill as long as every family, every house pays a $500 deductible. And Grandpa says he's having a hard time with a couple people because they don't want to pay the $500 deductible. For whatever reason. He said some people were saying, well, I'm old, I'm not going to pay that. So whatever that means, some people are tighter with money, some people are penny pinchers, you know how it is. Some people probably don't think that their roof needs it. But what happens is your shingle gets hit with that hail, right? And it causes your shingle to flex, right? And there might not be a visible crack on the top. You might just see where the hail hit, like a little mark. But what happens underneath is that shingle underneath cracks. And so it doesn't take very long for that outer asphalt layer to crack, and then it leaks through. And so your shingles might look decent, but underneath is where they crack. Especially, Grandpa was telling me all about it today, especially on, let's say 10, 15-year-old shingles. They're starting to get away from asphalt and just go with fiberglass or steel. But, so that's the whole deal on that. So he has that meeting at noon that he's putting on. So if he wants to get home and shower and get ready for that, he does have to leave pretty early. Morning. Chilly out there today. $49. Good stuff. It's a strong cup of coffee this morning. That's alright. Oh, it's chilly. I tell ya. Be nice to fire up that wood stove. Alright, let's go on a walk and go see if Grandpa's left already. And then if he is, we can come back and we can start getting everything going. I don't want to fire up the chainsaw before 7, so we'll see. Wonderful morning for a walk. Looks like this trail camera Dad has is knocked down or something. We'll maybe prop that up if we get a ladder. Yeah, and Grandpa's out of here already. Alright, so for Grandpa here, 1, 2, 3, and then this is a big boy that has to come down, which it's not the biggest tree, but it's a pretty decent sized tree. So that one's got to come down. There's another 1 and 2 hiding in there that should come down. And then this one right here is the second one. And we're going to drop that way. Yeah. And then this one, he's talked about it a couple times. So that one's still alive. But we are going to drop that one at some point because the way it leans, you can see, is right towards the cabin. And he says that this wet mark here is a sign of a disease. And I think these trees like to rot out from the inside. So he's really worried that this thing will blow over. And it's big enough. That thing's pretty tall. So it will hit his cabin if it falls the right way. Look at these beautiful flowers he has. They probably only got a few weeks left, being it's getting colder at night. They might This is his rain barrel catch system. So the rain comes down. Very cool. He was just telling me yesterday for this one, he's going to pull out all the grass in that garden bed. And he's going to be putting in this brown wood mulch. Of course, he's going to put that weed barrier fabric first. And then for behind the fence, he wants to do like a spring daisy mix you know, just like wildflowers. And then he was saying how he would like if we could get this birch tree out of there, but it's so wet. He doesn't know if it's worth getting. So, I don't know. I'll have to venture in there to see just how wet it is. That's a nice outhouse. Very nice. Alright, let's head on back. Might do a little trimming on this in this area here, because deer hunting is just around the corner, and Grandpa's friend, I think it's Wayne, comes up here some years. I don't know if he's coming up this year, but when he parks, he always parks right here. So I might do a little cleanup work in there. Surprised that pine tree isn't dead yet. Thing's really green, but boy, the base of it's just done. Look at that. That looks like claw marks, doesn't it? Huh. Anyways, let's get to it. Decently good. Alright, get you guys positioned, and then we'll get her ripping. Alright, one down. How many we got? 5, 6, maybe? Alright, I think I'm going to go and do that big one there, since I'm warmed up. So, I'm going to drop that one, hopefully just right down the driveway. Big one though. Alright, so this tree is hollow in the middle, so I didn't want to cut the relief cut too far back. But because I didn't, it's angling back on me, which is alright, but not really. So I'm gonna push on it with this board and see if we can get her to go. She might fall backwards, who knows where she'll go, I don't know. It's making me nervous, that's for sure. She can go any which way she wants to right now. That's nerve-wracking. Alright, give me a minute here. Alright, Grandpa didn't have wedge, but he had this hatchet. So I'll beat this hatchet in there and see if that's enough to get her to go. Oh, this is scary. Alright. And that is exactly what you don't want to happen. That was scary. So, we'll probably be able to salvage this if I yank on it real hard and get it out of there. So that's what you don't want to happen. I mean, you can see my cut though. Maybe I should have made that curve a little more, but it is pretty lined up with the driveway. That was scary. That could have killed me. I'm gonna go have breakfast now and chill out for a minute. And when we come back, we're gonna yank on this thing with the four-wheeler and she'll come down, hopefully. Ugh. What a mess. That's how people die. Big time. When stuff like that happens. And I blame that 100% on me. I am not some sort of professional when it comes to cutting down trees. I've never had one behave like that one. It just makes no sense. It must, I mean, you guys seen how it looks. It's pretty straight of a tree, you know, one side to the other. It doesn't have any big crooks in it or all the limbs on one side. So the fact that it wanted to go back is really interesting to me. And I cut my curve, or I think it's curve, but I cut that and it looked to be in the right direction to me, and I didn't go super far. I think where I really went wrong on it was when I started beating that hatchet in. I didn't notice it right at first, but the top of that trunk was, or the top part of the tree trunk was getting pushed over. So by the time I got that hatchet kind of in there. The top of that tree had moved over a couple inches, but I thought that's fine. When it finally goes, it's that much more on the side that I need it to. But I think what happened was when it fell, it was pushed over so much that when that final piece let loose, it slipped. What do they call that? Barber chair? Barber chaired back. So I don't know, that can kill you. Alright, so it's on that side of the tree, which is good. Comes down and it's here. So I don't know if that four-wheeler is going to have enough to get her to go, but I'll look for a strap if I can, and I'll try to run it around this one, and I can be going that way down the driveway. But that's a big heavy tree. But I mean, look at it. It doesn't really have a, anything that would tell me that it was going to do that. So, and you can see, I don't want to get too close, but you can see that hatchet there. There's like a small little chunk of wood right there. That's all that was holding it, so. Alright, well, we'll see. I don't know if the four-wheeler's going to be able to give this enough gusto to move it. This might be, Dad's going to have to come up here and yank it with this truck. But at least nothing's really in any danger right now. It's not, yeah, nothing's in danger. It's just embarrassing more than anything. Right now we're pulling it, but we're fighting against the ground. So I'm going to show you something that might work. Might work. And as we put that log under there, and then as I give her, it's going to yank up. We'll see if that works. Okay. We're going to adjust this here. We got too much slack in our chain. Real quick. It's close. Let's see the damage. Hopefully I didn't ruin that fence too bad. Just happy it's not up there anymore. Yeah, we did take out the fence. What a mess. Oh, Oh, I think we're all right. I think we barely took out the fence. Well, as far as worst case scenarios go, look at that right there. I wonder if that just snapped off or if it was up in the air like that. That's why when this happened, you seen me, every time I walked past it, I was looking up at it because it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. But we got her. So that's a big tree, holy. All right, I'm gonna take some time and not record and just buck this thing up. That's a big tree. Oh, that was terrifying. What a mess. What a mess. All right, let's get this taken care of. If I can get this one done and maybe that other small one. He also wants this big one down wherever it's hiding. That one? Yeah, that one. That one's not bad. Maybe we'll get to that. We'll see. All right. Let's get this thing bucked up. All right. So, Grandpa yesterday when he was walking me around, he was like, hey, you can use my chainsaw. And it was in the garage. So this is mine. It's an MS 170. And it has enough power. There's a few times when it's not really enough, but you can make it work. This is Grandpa's. This thing looks pretty new. It's MS 211C, and size-wise, a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier. That's why I like this one, is it's light and it's easier on my back. But I'm gonna run this thing for a minute just to see. You know, it has a little bit of a bigger chain and yada yada. So we'll take this thing on a little trial run just to see, because it might be nice to get a bigger chainsaw. I'm not sure. But anyways, let's fire her up. Well, it has that easy start. So it's a little doggy right now, but I think that's just probably, there's not a ton of fuel in here, so maybe that's why, the angle. But it's a nice saw. I mean, it's not terribly heavy, and it revs up nice and hot. So I don't know. I don't know if it's any. It's probably a slight bit faster than that 170, but overall, I don't know. I'm gonna run it for a little bit just to get some fuel through her, because I don't know how often Grandpa's been using it. Kind of did the same thing yesterday with that four-wheeler, as I went and took it on a rip, because I don't know how much Grandpa's getting on it and using it, so burn through some fuel. But anyways, I'm gonna put some oil and stuff in here and we'll run them. But they're about the same size, you know, they get the same length of bar and everything on them. It's just this one has a wider cut and a bigger motor. And I don't know if the extra drag from the chain being wider, how that affects it. This one has the steel dogs on it, this one is plastic. But to each their own. Some people want the biggest, baddest saw they can get. I don't mind my 170, it's worked really well for me, and it's light on my back, which is important for me. So yeah, we're getting to the end of it here. I still have to do maybe a 10-foot chunk down there, but I'm gonna just start lopping up the broke off top, and got to get this all cleaned up. Oh, what a mess. Grandpa will appreciate that, I just know it. He always likes stuff like that. Alright. It's not a bad view. Alright, I'm almost done with this bundle of sticks. Oh. Growing up, my parents built that house. You guys have seen it, that brick house. And we did the whole yard ourselves. And there's a lot of this, pulling brush. Even up here, a lot of pulling brush, a lot of raking, a lot of all that stuff. And it's just that mindless work that has to be done. You know, and you just kind of pluck at it, do it at a set of pace, keep going. Eventually, after 100 trips or however many trips, you'll get there. But it reminded me. So I have this stoplight theory, and what it is it's like, you know, sometimes you'll see somebody and it's just like, wow, they just advance right through whatever you're working on, right? Maybe you're waiting for the raise or whatever, and they just blow right past you. And the way I like to think of that is the stoplight theory. So sometimes you're rolling up to the stoplight and it turns yellow. You got to slow down, you got to stop, and you got to wait for all these other people to go, right? Meanwhile, right when that light turns green, the person that comes up behind you, they just coast right on through. They keep going. So they get it nice that time, right? Well, that is exactly how life works. Sometimes you get the green light, and sometimes you're sitting there at the red light. And that's why it's so important really not to compare yourself to anybody or want to be like anybody, because on the next light you might hit it green and they're sitting at the red. And that's my stoplight theory. And I don't really know what this has to do with the stoplight theory. This is a lot of just pulling sticks, but that's the stoplight theory. So sometimes you can't beat yourself up too hard, because people are going to be smarter than you at a lot of things. They're going to be able to work harder than you at a lot of things. But if you just stay in your lane, it all evens out. Everybody has strengths, everybody has weaknesses, and everybody probably has to pull sticks. Honestly, for what we just kind of went through, this ain't bad. Back against that thing. Like that. Hold it hold for 2 seconds. All right, that looks better. That one, I don't know what's going on with that, but that's sitting on its block. It almost looks like the whole fence was pushed this way, but that wouldn't really make sense. So I'm just going to let it be. I think it's going to be fine. Let's go grab a rake. Alright, it looks pretty in there now. It's pretty bare. It's 11:30. Perfect. I would love to continue cutting down a couple trees there and get this big one over here, but that's not in the cards for today, because that's going to take me probably till 3, 4 o'clock, and I don't have that time today. So we're going to walk back. Got the four-wheeler dropped off, everything put away, and everything locked up. So we're going to walk back and probably pick up a little bit and start on lunch. Here's how much wood we brought over. So that large pine tree, that's actually quite a lot of wood there. If you think about it, you probably get 8 to 10 pieces per round, and that's pretty good. Typically, when I'm up here, I'll count like how many pieces of wood I put in, and even on, if I'm here for an overnight, maybe I'll put in 20 pieces of wood. And so if you think about it, 2 of those rounds in maybe a 24-hour period, and that's, when you start it up, you're cooking it as hard as you can. So that's pretty good. A lot of people will comment and they say, oh, the wood stove at the tent is so small, you need something bigger, you need something more efficient. But it does really good. I don't know if a person would want a bigger one, because even like at night, if you put 2 or 3 pieces of wood in there, it'll heat that thing up and you'll be sweating all night. It does really good. Alright, for lunch we are going to have some pizza. It was my daughter's birthday party the other day and we had pizza, so got some of that. That's going to go down good. And some of this stuff, Mountain Dew ripoff. Yeah, that just sounds amazing. I don't know why, but it sounds good. Alright, that's a greasy, unhealthy meal, but I think it's going to go down really good. Alright, got everything cleaned up, locked. Oh, final temperature 68 and 71. Perfect. Everything is put away. Looks good. Get that right. The movie is back in there. Everything looks good. Alright, let's get the power off. You guys think it's funny that I do that, but I record locking all the doors so that if there's ever a question about it, I will have it on footage that I did lock the doors. Because that one time I came up here and this door was wide open after that big storm, who knows what happened. I don't know if I was the last one up or not, but ever since then I'm like, I have to make sure I lock the doors. Alright everyone, thanks a lot for coming along with me and cutting some wood. So we'll have to come back up and get the rest of it, but it was a good time up here with beautiful weather. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video.